Andy, what did you make of the performance overall?
Yeah, no, obviously, really happy. I thought it was a pretty good contest, particularly first half. Probably wasn't until that third quarter where we sort of opened up a little bit, but I hadn't really looked at the stats, but I had a look just then. It was pretty even in a lot of the areas. So the contest was pretty good, and ultimately, we probably used that ball a little bit more efficiently in that third quarter, and that was probably the difference.
Erin really stepped up through the midfield as well. In that quarter. Who were some of the standouts in the midfield?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, she's a pretty good player. I thought it was good to see, we had a number of players play their first game in a long time. So Chelsea came back and played her first game and had some really nice moments. Hannah Button was her first game for, I think, nearly 2 years, and she was and contributed really strongly. Some of our younger players, I thought Nikki Gore down back early in the game saved us a couple of times, and then later in the game was providing some runs. So it's hard straight after the game to individualise, but there was a number of really good performances, and ultimately it was a pretty solid day. We sort of headed off this morning, and they were in the first match of the year in pretty reasonably trying conditions. I thought we ran it out pretty well, so that was good.
Was Mary not bad? Just such a disruptive start to the season lead up.
Yes.
What did you make of her performance today?
Yeah, she's been super impressive through the whole process. Obviously, just a really unfortunate incident, and then it did take quite a while to reach resolution. So her ability to sort of stay calm and just to focus on getting ready to play that game if she was available was really, really good, and the performance she put in was warranted the preparation.
Phillips earlier, what would it be like just to get a full season out of her?
Yeah, so she's been the outstanding player in the competition through its first 3 seasons, and then obviously was able to get back last year, but was underdone. So you can't underestimate the quality that she brings to our team. I guess our challenge is to make sure that we don't become reliant on Erin, and I think we're starting to see that. We're getting a breadth of contribution, and but it's still handy to have her out there.
Was the message at half time to clean up the footy going forward? You seemed like you had a lot of opportunities.
No. To be honest, at half-time, that did improve in the second half, I agree. But in the second quarter, they actually got on top of us around the contest. So it was, and ultimately that is, generally where games are won and lost. And they were really good in that second quarter, and they run hard forward, and they took their chances. So we acknowledged their performance, and we just said we just got to up the ante around the contest a little bit. So that was probably the primary message.
Was it also about adjusting that sort of slingshot football and holding the structure in defence?
Yeah, well, they run hard forward, which is great. I mean, they take their chance, and you can either sag back and wait for them, or you can get it done at the source, and we probably weren't getting it done at the contest, so those runners became effective. So the approach was to try and get it right at the source.
And Woodland, the handy addition?
Yeah, I should have mentioned Ash. Yeah, no, brilliant. Loved her game. And she's one that's been in the system, came out, played really good SANFL football last year, and has worked just so hard over the off season to get herself really fit and ready to play. So really pleased for her. It was a really good performance.
How pleasing as a team, you mentioned having quite a few new players in and players returning from injury as well.
Yeah.
How pleasing to see that sort of dynamic come together for a powerful performance.
Yeah. So obviously, it's really early in the year. I've been coaching 3 seasons, and this is the first time we've won round 1, so I'm particularly pleased. But, every season's different, and the group changes, the dynamic changes, and so, it does take time to get that cohesion. So to have a good win first up, that's, really pleasing.
Just on Chelsea, you alluded to her before.
Yeah.
I dare say you haven't had a chance to chat to her, see how she is, but what did you make of her first game back in such a long time?
Yeah, well, I had great confidence that she was going to be okay, because she has been... her pre-season, she's just 100 miles an hour. She doesn't have any other gear other than fifth. And so the way she played today is the way she's been training for a long time. And so we were really confident. But ultimately, I'm sure there were some nerves there, because she hasn't been in an official game for a long time. But she handled it perfectly.
And just on the day, like flying in and the weather here, how did the group cope with that?
Yeah, so we addressed it. It was the challenge that was in front of us. But to be honest, I thought they managed it really well. And, in reality, I've been in footy a while, and you do spend a lot of time sitting around in hotel rooms. So to not have that, to just fly in and to play the game, from my perspective, was probably right. Although I didn't have to run around in the heat. So probably the wrong bloke to ask.
And injury-wise,
Yeah, so we had a cork calf, apologies to Anne Hatchard. So obviously we'll wait and assess that, but all things being equal, we've got an 8-day break, so you'd imagine that a cork should settle. And other than that, I think we're pretty much injury free, which is the other really pleasing aspect.
Getting to Fremantle Oval tomorrow? Just to get a look at the opposition?
Yeah, so we obviously we flew with GWS today. We'll fly back after that game, so we'll have an opportunity to have a look. Obviously Fremantle form last season was outstanding. This is a new year. West Coast played really well against them last week, and so we'll get a cider on them tomorrow. Happy? Good job.